Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered several Veer-submitted levels, so in this part, I'll be covering a longer Veer-submitted level, Mega Man 4 Megamix by MrDocRobot, with 15 plays and a score of 0. As always, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check if your level is covered, expand the description. Just like with the previous Megamix stages, this level will contain mini remixes of all of the levels from Mega Man 4, those being the Roadmaster levels, the Cossack Fortress stages, as well as the Wily Fortress stages. Because of the exorbitantly long loading times, going over in excess of 2 minutes, I already know that this stage is going to be at least 100 to 150 screens long. And don't worry, I'll edit down the loading times, so you won't be staring at the blank loading screen for a while. As expected, this stage takes place or plays in slow motion. Because of this, I'll be playing as bass. Here's a selection of 8 Roadmasters. Let's first go through Toadman's level. We start with the Treble Boost as well as Bass Buster, or in the case of Mega Man, the Rush Coil. One obvious suggestion for this stage: split the Fortress levels and the Roadmaster levels into their own individual stages. Otherwise, we'll have lag problems throughout this stage, and I know the viewers will be complaining about this, for sure. Mega Man Maker's engine isn't designed for these gargantuan stages, and the option to end off the level right after completing all the Roadmaster recreations is a pretty logical ending point, and then start off the second stage at the beginning of the Cossack Fortress. That way the entire stage won't play at a snail's pace like what's happening over here. The snail's pace makes taking care of this Benkei a lot slower too. The other reason why I'm playing as bass is so I have extra forgiveness in case stutters eat one of my jump inputs. Because I expect there to be a lot of minor stutters as well as major stutters. Because the rain flush isn't part of the engine just yet, it's replaced with a gravity hold, which has a similar effect after all. although it is a bit more powerful compared to the Rain Flush as it instantaneously activates. If you're not enjoying the snail-paced gameplay of this level, feel free to skip past this part. I don't usually recommend it, but it's quite egregious here. I believe this is Brightman's level. Also, unlike the original Toadman stage, we don't gain access to the Rush Marine after completing the level. Then again, like the Rain Flush, the Rush Marine utility isn't part of the engine yet. That's Brightman's stage done. Which means we gain access to the Flash Stopper. No, we don't. We gain access to Crystal Eye instead. Interesting. Oh wait, that probably wasn't Brightman's level. That was Dustman's level. My bad. That's why we gain access to the Crystal Eye instead, as that's a replacement for the Dust Crusher, which isn't part of the engine yet either. Next up is Ferroman's level. In the original level, you could also gain access to the balloon adapter, but that's not part of the engine yet either. But there is a secret to the right. That's a good enough replacement, as the balloon adapter works similarly to item 1. Although you could have up to 8 balloon adapters on screen at once. By taking this teleporter, we're taken to the entrance of this temple. Originally we'd had the fair platforms that we need to ride on top of, but instead we have them replaced with the Shadow Man platforms and conveyor belts. That's Ferroman's stage done. Now we should gain access to the Pharaoh shot here. Indeed we do. 3 down, 5 plus 4 plus 4 to go. Next up, Brightman's actual stage. The other reason why I'm playing as base is so I can more easily skip over enemies. That's Brightman's level done, so now we'll gain access to the flash stopper. Not quite. Not yet, anyway. Again, I want to echo this statement that this stage would have been a lot better if it was split into 2 different levels. The first level focusing on the Roadmaster stages from Mega Man 4, and the second half focusing on all the Fortress levels. Otherwise, this is kind of excruciating to play through. Ringman. At least this stage's main gimmick exists in the engine. As well as the trademark mini-boss, or at least one of them. Don't care, I really don't want to fight you at this speed. Ringman stage is done. So we gain access to the ring boomerang, as well as a full life refill and a checkpoint. Just like all of the other Megamix stages, at the end of every mini remix stage there's a checkpoint. Next up is Skullman's recreation. Until I reach the fortress stages, I barely have anything more to say about this stage. At the very least, all of the mini remixes of the Mega Man 4 Roadmaster levels are decent, some preserving the original beats of the levels better than others. By completing Skullman's level, we gain access to the Skull Barrier. Two more Roadmaster levels left to go. Drillman stage. In the original Mega Man 4, we can also find the wire adapter here. In the original Mega Man 4, once you defeated Drillman, you unlock the Rush Jet. I suppose the same will happen at the end of this stage too. We don't have the matter generating Drillman switches, so we replaced them with Yoko blocks. The good thing of the sluggish gameplay is that it gives me a lot more time to react to the hazards. Here are the rolling drills. They weren't present in the original stage. In fact, they were in Mega Man 5's Napalm Man stage, But they are a logical addition here because those are called rolling drills, and this is Drillman's level. In fact, I'd say that the rolling drills are a better fit for Drillman stage in comparison with the Drillman switches themselves. I would expected the matter-generating Drillman switches to be present in a more space-time matter-oriented stage. That's the end of Drillman's level. We gain access to the Drill Bomb, Rush Jet, or in this case the Treble Boost, as well as an extra life and a checkpoint. One more Roadmaster level left to go, that being Dive Man's level. Unfortunately, we're missing the sea mines in this engine. As well as the whale mini-boss. Also, in the original level, we could unlock the wire adapter by finding the capsule hidden in this stage. Of course, just like the balloon adapter, that isn't part of the engine yet. It was hidden down a spike pit. Getting hit by an invisible mini-boss over there, probably a hot dog or Tama. Sadly, I overlooked the replacement for the wire adapter. It was probably down a fake pit that I missed. Something's down over there though. Here's a dive missile, so let's take a look and see what's down over there first. An M-tank. I'll gladly take that, thank you very much. Nothing to the right though. I was hoping that the wire adapter's replacement would be hidden to the right. That ends all the mini remixes of the 8 Roadmaster levels. So now it's on to the Cosmic Fortress recreations, which could have been spun off into their own stages. Here's also a full refill for all of our special weapons. the other treble boost. They're treated as different damage types. I want to emphasize that this stage would be better if we put an energy element over here, end off the stage, and then for the second half of the stage, start off right at the entrance of Cosmic Fortress. That way we can avoid much of the lag problems for this stage. The Mega Man Maker engine wasn't designed for these gargantuan stages. If this was made in the Magnal 2 or the Megamix engine, this would be doable thanks to certain tricks using Game Maker Studios' room features, that being having completely separate rooms connected by Galaxy Man teleporters. But here everything is in the same gigantic room, that's why it slows down to a crawl, and we don't have dynamic streaming in and out of assets. The engine isn't designed for that. Here it's saying to use the Rush Jet or Rush Coil. But of course I'm playing as base, so I can easily make the jump here. Also, if this level was made in the Magnal 2 engine or the recently released open beta of the Megamix engine, the level designer could have replaced the music or dynamically shifted the music once we entered the level remixes, so we don't need to repeatedly hear the same tune for 40 to 50 minutes. We could hear the original Roadmaster tunes as well as the individual Fortress teams. That would have improved the stage greatly. That's Cosmic 1 done. If there's one saving grace about this stage, it's that the mini remixes are a lot shorter than the original levels, at least a half to a third of the original length. Here we would have faced the Square Machine, and at the end of the previous level we would have faced Mothra. But we don't have it, so instead we fight several Ben Ks at once. That one's standing in midair for whatever reason. Probably because it's stuck in the Skullman block. That's Cossack 2 completed. On to Cossack 3, which originally was an auto-scrolling stage for the most part. And it's lagging even more over here due to the inclusion of the gyres. This is becoming like a slideshow. In fact, this is the worst I've seen Mega Man Maker ever perform, outside of maybe 1 or 2 instances in 1 or 2 previous stages. Four or 5 FPS, or whatever. I probably could have made it better if I used a flash stopper, which I will do next time when we have a section with a lot of gyres. Much better. I believe that for this stage, using the flash stopper will be equivalent to pressing the increase performance button. That's the end of Cossack 3. Originally we'd face the Cossack Catcher, but of course we don't have any fortress bosses. Perhaps in update version 1.5? Same room structure after all. Cossack 3 done, on to Cossack 4. Honestly, the Cossack 3-4 stage remix level that I played through a few parts back, that was made by the level designer official meme guy, that was a superior level to this one. For one, their stage remixes felt more inspired and interesting in comparison with these. That was a close one there. Good thing I didn't get permanently embedded in the wall there. But now I'm out of flash stopper energy. This marks the end of Cossack Stage 4 and the Cossack Fortress. But of course, this marks the beginning of the Y Fortress 1 stage. Here's the intermission. Again, this is a nice good point to end off the stage and the start of a new one. I keep harping on this point because that's the main thing that brings down this overall level. How slow and sluggishly it plays. In fact, it's worse for certain areas like we saw with Cossack Stage 3, with all of those gyres. The game just became a slideshow there. The only way to fix that or improve it was to use the flash stopper. It's not the level design itself that brings down a stage, it's how the overall stage itself is organized, being way too big for this engine to handle. This is something you would create a fan game for, or use the more full-fledged and customizable engine. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If Mega Man Maker supported dynamic loading and unloading of assets, then the game wouldn't lag as much, especially for larger stages. I'm hoping that'll be added as a major update in the future, probably the far future, but I doubt it, as that'll require a major rewrite to how the assets are stored in the game. After all, the base Mega engine, the Magmo 2 engine, and the recently released Megamix engine don't support it, as it's quite complex to implement, though that may change in the near or far future. On to Wily 2, and my first death throughout this level. Let's see how long it takes for the stage to load back up. Not bad, only about 10 seconds. It'd be a lot worse as Proto Man though, as the game waits until the whistle is over to load up everything. Sure, we're going down here now. Apparently this was the right decision. Y2 completed, on to Y3. In Y1 the boss would be Metal Daddy, in Y2 the boss would be Taco Trash. Or Taco Trash. Y3 is where it faced the Roadmaster rematches. Here are the rematch teleporters, but of course we don't have Roadmaster rematches in this engine, or more specifically multiple bosses before completing the level, so they all lead to the same gauntlet. Essentially, a series of 8 different rooms that each have an enemy from their respective Roadmaster stage. Like in this case, this was Toadman. I'm not sure what this one is. Pharaohman. Not sure about this either. Skullman, I guess. No, wait, it was another stage. I think it was either Brightman or the one before that. This is Skullman. Not sure about this either. Ringman, I guess? I forget about this one. Probably also Skullman, I'm not sure. But this is it, we're nearing the end. I suppose the drill bomb was the weakness of the Y Machine 4, which would face over here. Now we're on to the 4th and final Y Castle stage. At last, this stage is coming to an end. If this stage didn't play at this sluggish rate, this would have been done probably 15 or 20 minutes ago. Perhaps even shorter. Time to face Fairman. Is his weakness still the flash stopper? Doesn't seem to be. It appears to be the treble boost up close, as at a distance it only deals 1 point of damage. Let's go over what I liked and what I didn't like throughout this stage. First off, I liked most of the mini recreations of all of the levels. They usually preserve some of the original level design as well as some of the highlights. Although with stages like Brightman, Drillman, and Dustman's levels, the missing gimmicks really detracted from the recreations. I know they were replaced with other gimmicks, but they weren't the best replacements unfortunately. That's more due to the fact that those are missing from the engine. Now, the main negative that really brought down this stage for me was the omnipresent lag, slowdown, and stuttering. Throughout the stage, the max speed was 50% outside of screen transitions, and that really brought down the fast-paced gameplay and made it rather monotonous and arduous in certain areas. That's why I chose to play as bass, just in case one of my jump inputs was eaten by stutters, and also because I could go through the stage faster using the treble boost as well as dash jumping. As I've repeatedly stated throughout this level, I strongly suggest that you split the stage into at least 2 smaller levels. The first level focusing on the 8 Roadmaster recreations, and the second level focusing on the Cosmic Fortress and Wily Fortress stages. That way, the stage won't lag as much. Because of how big this issue is, I cannot give this stage a thumbs up, and I don't recommend that you play it. Not until it's split into 2 smaller stages at the very least. And I hope this split is applied to the future Megamix stages like Megamix 5 and Megamix 6, otherwise they'll have similar issues with this one. It's not unplayable, but it's very painful, close to unplayable. Well then, in the next part, I'll be covering several more VR Simulator levels. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!